So today's topic is quantitative sales forecasting. So when you talk about quantitative sales forecasting, basically it's it's a tool that a business can use to make important decisions. And when you talk about important decisions based on your sales, because whatever a business do, it's about how revenue comes in. And how will the revenue come in? How will you make revenue? It's through sales. So quantitative sales forecast is used to understand the trend in the business and the sales that they are expecting, the business is expecting to make revenue. Do you get my point here? So we use quantitative sales forecast to predict it's a tool that we can use as a business to predict what we are expecting in terms of returns of our investments, which will come through the sales. Do you understand? So here they said, though it's not written here, but I'm just giving you the clue about what quantitative sales forecast means. So one of the methods in which we can use quantitative sales forecast is using the time series. I want to talk about time series analysis. For time series analysis, I wrote here, I said one of the main important quantitative sales forecast methods involves using time series analysis. So how do we use time series analysis? To use time series analysis, it means you are trying to predict the future levels of what has happened through the past. So 5 years ago, these are what happens. So these things that happened during this time, we can use it to talk about what is happening right now or what is about to happen in the future. So 5 years ago, from August to September 5 years ago, or from let's say 2017, what happens from August to December 2015 is a time series. So this is 2022. So what will happen in 2022, August to December 2022? That's what we mean by time series. So you are using what? You are predicting the future levels of your sales with what happens in the past. Is it clear? Mm-hmm. So here, so I wrote that. So we have different components that we can use to identify our time series analysis. We can use trend, we can use seasonal fluctuation, which is the same as seasonal variation. We can use cyclical fluctuations. And when we talk about cyclical fluctuations, it means the number of time these sales repeated itself in order. Or in August, we make 10,000 sales. In December, we make 10,000 sales. In November, we make 10,000 sales. So these things happened concurrently. That is what we mean by cyclical. In order, it happens concurrently. That's what we call cyclical. Then we have the random fluctuation, which is the same as random variation. So how do we identify the trends now? So for the trend, here I said trend, identifying the trend. This allows the business to predict what is likely to happen in the future. So trend is the result you are able to gather, the statistics information you are able to gather in terms of your sales, the average sales you make. So when you are using your trend, you are using either your moving average or centering. So what I mean by moving average is you calculated certain number of your sales, maybe for 3 years, mostly for 3 years, which is your moving average. You calculated your sales for 2019, 2020, 2021. You divide by 3. So what you get is what we mean by moving average. So here, I wrote the average can be taken for any period the business wants, such as a year, a month, or quarterly. So when you're calculating your trend, it's basically for 3 periods, maybe 3 consecutive years, 3 months interval, that means for January, February, March, or for April, May, June, or for July, August, September. Basically, it's for 3 months. So that is how you calculate your moving average. But if you choose to calculate for more than 3 periods, I mean more than 3 months, you need to use centering. And for centering, it means you are calculating for 4 years, 4-year moving average, 4-year moving totals, or 8-year moving total. So how do you calculate that? That means you calculate year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Then you divide it by the numbers of years. You get it? For moving average, for our moving average.
I understand moving average.
Okay, for the centering. The centering, you calculate 4 consecutive years. You divide it by the number of years.
Just
The
like
sales, look at, we have 20 in 2000, look at
just
here,
like moving average. It's just the
it's
same.
different here. For here, you calculate 2006 to 2009,
Yeah.
you get it. Then from 2010 to 2013, you get it. You add it together, you divide by 2. You divide by 8. Do you get it? What I'm saying is, for the 4-year moving total, the first 4 years, you calculate the first 4 years as it's been calculated here, 2006 to
Okay.
2006 to 2010, which is 125, 125, 125 plus 125 plus 130 plus 130 plus 150, which gives us 535. Then from 2010 to 2013, which gives us 550. Then you add them together, you divide it by 8. That is how you calculate your centering. You understand the difference between moving average now and centering?
Yeah.
Centering is calculated by getting a center number, which is 1085. That's our center number. And you divide it with the total number of years from 2006 to 2013, which is 8. So 535 plus so for the centering, it is a method of using 4 and 8-year moving totals to find a midpoint. So how do you get your midpoint? You get your midpoint by calculating the first 4 years, like 2006 to 2009, which is 4 years, the total, plus 2000 from 2010 to 2013, which gives you another total. So 535 plus 550 gives us 1085. So to get our midpoint, it will be the total 8 moving total, the 8 moving totals divided by the number of years.
Okay.
So that gives us 135.63. That is 1085 divided by 8. 1085. So for centering, we talked about the difference between moving average. For the moving average, it is year 1, year 2, year 3 divided by, that means the sales of year 1, the sales of year 2, the sales of year 3 divided by 3. That is for moving average, calculating the trend. But when you have to calculate for more than 3 periods, then you have to use centering. And using centering, it means you're going to calculate sales for 4 years, different 4 years, then you get the midpoint. So how do you get the midpoint? Here we calculated the sales for 2006 to 2009 to give us 535. From 2010 to 2013 to give us 550. So when you add them together, you have your 8-year moving total, which is 1085. Then to get the midpoint, it will be 1085 divided by the total number of years, which is 8. So 1085 divided by 1085. 1085 divided by 6 gives us 180.83. So that's it then. Do you get it?
Yes.
Then we go to, so centering involves calculating the sales of first 4 years, sales of the second 4 years to find the total, then divide by 8. But I talked about that. Now we go to predicting. So, okay, then we have the activity 1 before we go to the next lesson. For the activity 1, the question says, Moreno Service Center, a Colombian car maintenance business, has recently gathered data on its sales revenue as shown in table 6. That's the table. We have period 1 to period 10, period 1 to 10. The sales revenue, we have for year 1, 100, year 2, 130, year 3, 160, year 4, 175, year 5, 180 to year 10. So they said we should calculate the 3-period moving average, 3-period moving average. So to calculate this, that's what I want to do here. So you just listen to me, please. So we have for the 3-year period, we have for the first 3 years, we have 100, 130, 160. So we had them together, 130, 100 plus 130 plus 160 divided by 3 will be for the second year. So we have 100 plus 130. Let me use the calculator here.
It's 390.
So 390 divided by 3.
130.
Yeah. So I think that's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So for the first 3 years, we have, so when you calculate year 1, year 2, year 3, you forget about year 1. So you start calculating for your third period moving average, start from year 2.
Okay.
You calculate year 1 plus year 2 plus year 3 divided by 3. It gives us 390.
Okay.
So 390 divided by 3 gives us 130. So the 3 period moving average starts from year 2. So that is 130. Then the third one, we have 130 plus 160 plus 175 divided by 3. So we have 130 plus 130 plus 160 plus 175 divided by 3. That's 465 divided by 3. No, sorry.
It's 155.
155, yes. That's for year 3 moving period. Year 3 third period moving average. So year 4, we have 160 plus 175 plus 180. 160 plus 175 plus 180 divided by 3.
One.
160 plus 175 plus 180 divided by 3.
It's 395.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
So that's for year 4 third period moving average, right?
Yeah.
Then year 5. One, two, three. So for year 5, it will be.
So for year 4.
Year 4 is for year 4, you count from
175.
175 plus 180
180
plus 190.
Yeah.
What does that give you?
175.
175
plus 190 plus 181.
181. Yes.
Plus 181.6.
181. Yeah, 181.6. Then you can write 182.
Yeah. Year 5.
So 160, you cut it off 175 for year 3, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. You're done with year 4, year 5 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
180 plus 190 plus 190.
For year 5,
Yeah.
180 plus 190 plus 190 divided by 3.
Yes. 186.
186. Okay. And for year 7?
46. We're at year 6.
Yeah, you can do it, please.
2 plus 180. 560. 186. 187.
Okay. Yes. 160. 175. 565 plus 180 plus 190. So for the 4 period moving average, I think that is clear, right?
Yeah.
So you calculate the first, the second, and the third year for year 1. And when you are calculating for year 2, you take year 1 away.
Okay.
Do you understand? You start your calculation from year 2, which is from 130. 130, that means 130 plus 160 plus 175.
That's for what?
Now I'm talking about the third period moving average. I think that is clear.
Oh, okay.
So for the 4 period moving average, you calculate the number of 4 years. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. together.
130, 160,
100, 130, 160, 175, 180.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you get, you add it to 190, 190, 180, 220. Then you divide the total by 8. That's how you're going to get your 151.3.
It's clear.
It's clear, right?
Yes.
So we go on to predicting the line now. Predicting the line of best fit.
Um, 130 plus 1.
When we talk about predicting the line of best fits from the trend, how do we go about that? When the trend has been identified, it is possible for a business to predict what may happen in the future. So the line of best fit is the trend figure and the sales. We have 71667, and the trend and the sales figure and the trend is 1162550. It needs to pass through a coordinate X and Y. So we have our X coordinate and the Y coordinate.
Okay.
So not really a graph. The graph is going to be there for you already. But how do you get the graph? We have X and Y. For your X, it will be your total number of years. And Y will be the total number of sales. Yes, the number of years for X, that's the vertical axis for X, and the horizontal axis for Y. Are you with me, please?
Yes.
So for X, it is total number, that means summation X over N. Summation X over N will give us the number of the average of the years. We need to get the average of the years and the average of the sales to get our line of best fits. Look at the line of best fit here. We have the sales on the horizontal side. We have the number of years in the vertical side.
Okay.
So how do you get the line of best fit? You calculate the total number, the total amount of sales divided by the number of sales over the total number of years divided by the number of years. So here we have the total number of sales. We have 2013, we have 1,100. You add them together, you divide by 6. For the numbers of years, 2008 plus 2009 plus 2010 plus 2011 plus 2012 plus 2013 divided by 6. That is how we get our average for years, which is for X, and average for sales, which is for Y. That is the coordinate. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that now we go to variations. Yeah, we go back. Variations from the trend. So for the variations, here I wrote, we can find how much variation there is from the trend by calculating. How do you calculate the variation? Your actual sales minus your trend. You know your trend is, you got your trend through your moving average or your centering. Please, are you with me?
Yes.
We get trend through our moving average, which is calculating for 3 years, or calculating for 4 years using 8 periods. So whatever you get there, you minus it from your original sales. Let's say in 2008, we have different sales for 2008. Like what we have here, from 2006, we have 300, 2007, we have 500, 2008, we have 600, 2000, okay, yeah, we have 300, 500, 600. Yeah. This is our original sales. For these 3 periods, we can calculate, we can use our moving average. So how do we calculate our moving average? We say 300 plus 500 plus 600 divided by 3. That's 800, 1,800 plus 1,400 divided by 3. So whatever we get is what we take away from this. That's how we calculate the difference in variation. Do you understand how we calculate variations here? Yeah. The 3 years, we have the moving average, which is going to give us 1,400. 1,400 divided by 3. 1,400 divided by 3, which is 466.6. So 466.6 is what we get as our variation. So this is our trend. You take it away from the sales. So 466.6 minus 1,400 gives us our variation. Please take note. When we are calculating the variation, it is actual sales minus trend. How do you get your trend? You get your trend either through moving average or centering. When you're using the moving average, it means you are calculating for the first 3 years, for the first 3 periods. And when you are calculating using centering to find your trend, it means you are using 4 periods in 8 time period. The first 4 years plus the next 4 years divided by 8. So either ways, what you have to do is you get your trend, either through the third move or 3 moving, the moving average or the centering. So whatever you get, like what I did here, 300 plus 500 plus 600 gives me 1,400. I divided by 3, which means I'm using my moving average. So my moving average gives me 466.6. So to know the variation, which we are talking about here, to know the variation from the trend, it will be the total number of sales for the 3 periods, which is 1,400 minus the trend using the moving average, which is 466. So I have 466.6 minus 1,400. So 933.3 is my variation. Do you understand how we get our variation here? You get your variation by adding up using either moving average or centering. When you use your moving average, you calculate 3 periods from 2006 to 2008, which is 3 periods. You calculate them together, you divide by 3. Whatever you get, you take it away from the total sales, which is 300 plus 500 plus 600. Whatever you get is what we mean by our variation. Is variation clear?
Yes.
All right, so we'll stop here. Okay.